Sorry, I didn't know that it was already streaming. Like normally you have to press the button start streaming beforehand. So I guess they changed that. Give me 1 second. I gotta finish posting all the stuff, and then we can get right into the demonstration. So, where am I in Discord? Alright. Hmm. Just give me 1 second. I'm almost done. And the stream is right here. Okay. I really like the music back here. It's like a really nice song. Alright, there we go. Me too. And then I learned how to use curves, and then I forgot how to use curves. I forgot the whole thing. I watched the video again on the class for it, and I was like, I guess I pushed this button, I pushed that button, and I was like, you know what? Let's just make a what you call it for it, a plug-in to make it easier. So that's what I did. So give me 1 second. I gotta apologize before we start. I'm gonna be drinking a whole bunch of water. The medicine they have me on now, it turned me into a fish. I have to devour water every 5 seconds or I'll die. Well, I guess it's better than passing out. So yeah. Okie dokie. So let's start. Um, I want to have happy music in the background, but it's like I can't focus and jam at the same time. I'm not that skilled. The tools we get best at, we forget the quickest. Right, right. I feel that. I'm having a monster. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Oh, well, I guess I could talk about that beforehand. Somebody had mentioned before a bunch of treatments or options and stuff when I said that when I get hot, I itch. Went to the doctors for that recently because I was in the hospital. I had a really bad reaction because of the first heat wave of the season. So I had a really bad reaction to that and had went into anaphylactic shock and had to go to the ER. And that's when they told me that I'm apparently allergic to my sweat. And they're like, oh, well, that happens a lot with women. I was like, what do you mean? Why? Women, they like, because women have the ability to reprogram their bodies with their brains. Because our bodies accept hormonal change a lot easier than men. And that's what happens. So, okay, if you've been under a lot of stress and anxiety, that can send hormones out into your body and change it. And in my case, being under stress from all that stuff with my mom made me allergic to to my own sweat. So they're like, yeah, we see this a lot in women. Yeah, they're like, we see this a lot in women. It's very common. So they like, there's no cure for it, but there's a lot of treatments that you can do, and then it's like a ladder. So the first ladder is take Zyrtec for a month to get your body saturated with antihistamines, because that's what happened is your body is telling it to flood it with histamine, and then people have reaction to that. So antihistamine medicine is first step, and then the second step, if that doesn't work, is medicine that helps you not sweat as much. And then third, they were like, well, we'll get to that when we get there. They didn't even tell me what the third step is. It's just, we'll get there when we get there. Because I had mentioned it before, and you guys were suggesting a lot of eczema creams and stuff like that, and oatmeal treatments. And they're like, yeah, no, it's internal. Your body, so that's what's happening. So that's why you hear the fan and the ACs in my tutorials now. I gotta stay cool, and I gotta take this Zyrtec. But this Zyrtec is like, it's not like Benadryl where it just knocks you out, but it makes me very thirsty. Okay, so I'm sorry for going all medical on you guys and telling you all this stuff. Like, alright, get to the tutorial. Okay, we will get to the tutorial now. But I just had to share this, and thank you guys for looking out for me, because I had no idea. I would just be sitting around rolling and exploding if it wasn't for your help. And I'm really grateful for that. Which is why I made this plugin for free, because it's my way of saying thank you guys for helping me out, and maybe I can help you out in exchange for that. So thank you guys again. Let's look at your gift. Okay, so first is here on my GitHub, which I still can't get over that I have one. It feels so professional. I feel real now. So here's my GitHub, and it has the plugin. You can just click releases and go ahead and download this RAR. Now the thing is, it's a RAR. It's not an automatic install, because it's multiple plugins in one. And I'm sorry, I don't know how to make Blender. I don't know how to make Blender install all plugins at once. So you just bear with me until I learn that. So I put it here on my desktop, and you could look inside the package and you'll see that it has not only the 3 plugins that make up the add-on, but also some days. And this will come in handy later on. So I'm just going to take those and put those on my desktop. Oh, I did already. So you guys can look at that later. I'm glad. So, once you install the stuff, so I'm using the old Blender because I was using the new Blender, and everything was going well, except for I don't know how to rotate. You know what? Wait a minute. Let me press O real quick. Alright, well, it rotates sort of, kind of, but I can't get it to rotate the way I want it to. So I'm going to have to play around with Blender 3 and up some more, because it's like if you got Blender 3, then it should work with the newer blenders after that. I'm still trying to learn this. So once I get that down, then I'll make the plugin for the new blender. For right now, I'm using the old one. So just, try it out beforehand. Alright, so this is what my demo dummy. I'm going to delete this so that we can get it going. Okay, so let's show you the regular way. Let me turn on my screencast, because out of the history, you know what? Hold on. I am going to fix this right now on air, because for the past 10 some odd years we've been using Blender in this channel. I never remember to turn the screens cast on. So I'm going to set that up right now. Look, we're going to push screencast so that they are enabled. I'm going to close this over, and then I'm going to save this as my startup file. Yeah. So now, every time we make this, oh, it ain't do diddly. I'm like, alright, so now every time we start up, the screencast key is going to be clicked. It's not. Wait, it is clicked. So how come I ain't cast it? I think that broke it. Yeah, it did break it. Ugh. So much for trying to be efficient. Blender know what it's about. So let's try to show you guys. I'm going to scoop my chat over here to the other screen. That way I can see it and answer your questions without having to miss it while I'm working. Okay. So we are square. Alright, now we can begin the demo. I like to use this method of hair making because I like stylized hair. And by stylized hair, I mean the old-fashioned hair, kind of like this right here. Like this avatar, where the hair is kind of polygon, very anime-like. A lot of times people are doing cards now, like that's what's in vogue, hair cards, which are just flat planes with a hair texture on there. And I know that's what's in style, but I like to do 3D printing. And when I do my 3D printing, flat cards don't print and it doesn't look right. So I need kind of sculpted hair to make my avatars, well, my figures and stuff have hair. So that's why I use curves and stuff. Of course, I forgot how to use curves because I didn't do it in a while. But it's one of my favorite things to do. And yeah, you can use V-Roid like we did before to make some hair. But I find that some styles are really difficult to make sculpted hair with V-Roid. Especially if you want to have like big curls going this way and that way, kind of like spikes. Like I found spikes pointing backwards are hard to do on there, and it's just easier for me to make curves. So that's what I'm gonna show you now. Traditionally, so I'm gonna show you how it's done, and then I'll show you how the plugin fast tracks the process. Because if I go just do this, and this, you won't really understand the whole like, oh, that's so much easier without it. Okay, so let's begin. So first thing, when we're trying to make a curves, you have to enable the curves, like additional curves inside of Blender. I forgot what it's called, but you just do it. Yeah, it's fun. Like nothing wrong with curves. There's nothing wrong with hair. I'm trying to stick with the lingo here. There's nothing wrong with hair cards. A lot of big brands do that now, like hair brands in the games, and game developers use hair do that now. Sculpted hair and stylized hair is kind of going the way of the dodo because it can be heavy. But like I said, when I'm making my figurines, you can't 3D print a texture. It's just flat. It just comes out, flat or not at all. So that's why Sculpty is my favorite. Alright, so what we want to do is you want to make sure that you have right here, add curves clicked in your add-on thingy. That's one of the things that you're definitely going to need to check. And then, ignore the other one. That's my tip. And then once you install mine, UV square. So once you have that set, you're going to add in your curves by pressing Shift A and selecting curve from the menu. And you're first going to add a circle. Circle. I forgot. It goes wherever your 3D cursor is. So mine was all the way down there. So I want to add a circle and have it up here. Up here. And then I want to press Shift A again. And then we're going to add a path to here. The path is going to be our hair thing. And the circle here is our shape. So we're going to bind our circle to our path. And I guess the best way, like if you want to use like fun terms to help you remember, the circle is the shape or the director that tells the path which shape to take on. So that's our actor. So director, actor. We're here to select our director here and go into edit mode. And you can see these little lines here. That's our poles, and that's what it's going to, we're going to move to manipulate the shape of the actor. Actually, I forgot one thing. We got to select the actor first. Then we come over to the curves menu. Scroll down to where the geometry tab is. It might be closed, so you got to click the little triangle and open it. And then you'll see bevel object. You're going to click the little eyedropper tool, and you're going to select the director. And you see that it instantly takes on the shape of the circle. So once that's done, we're going to select our circle, go into edit mode by pressing tab, and you can see the poles. If we move the poles, you'll see that the actor starts to change its shape. Now it's kind of difficult to move the poles. You don't get a lot of it. So you can just click on it and I press G, and it still moves weird. I don't know really the point of what I'm about to say next. It's just how I was taught. So I'm going to press A and select all of the loops. And I'm going to press the V key to open up the handle type. And we're going to make it free. And this apparently changes the way that the handles can be manipulated and such. I don't really know the science behind it. That was just how the woman in the tutorial taught us. So we can do this and we can manipulate the curve until we get something nice. If you find that this is not enough points for you to make the proper shape, you can press A again, and then you press W, and you can subdivide, and you'll get more points to work with. So now when we move it, you can see that we can get a shape that we need. I found that when you're making hair, kind of make a shape like a nose. It's kind of like a dog nose or one of dumplings or a weird star, and that's kind of what gives me that anime shape. But I like to keep the bottom rounded, sometimes flat, depending on what kind of hair that I'm making. For this one, I'm going kind of with this, like it reminds me of something, but I can't remember what. And I know it's Chinese because I remember wanting to eat it. So I'm just going to say it's a nose so I don't offend or somebody like, oh, it's a Chinese something. So anyway, you make this shape and it gives you this. So what our shape, it doesn't look quite right, but we just got to taper it and you'll see that it looks kind of like a sculpted hairpiece. So we're going to select our actor here and press tab to go into edit mode. And I'm going to select the end point at the bottom. And I'm going to press O to enter, what's this word? Proportional edit, but I used to call it soft editing. You know what's on when you see this little blue light at the bottom highlighted. Once it's highlighted, you just press S, and you can see we can scale it. So let's scale it at the top and scale it at the bottom. Slowly widening the field of influence from, the proportional edited thing. It makes it easier when you can do that. So scale it down, and then it's like bada bing, you got hair. Now I know it looks weird being, laying this way. So once you press R and rotate it, well, RX. No, one day I'm going to be able to press the right R to show off my understanding of axes. So once you have RY, you do this, you can see that like now it looks like hair and it doesn't look like a bottom thingy. So I want to press this and close it out all the way. So now we have our like anime-ish hair. And now it's just a matter of taking your hair and manipulating it. Like press G, and you can see we can get the curves here, because you're going to just grab these points and you're going to press G to move it, or you can press, I'm going to make a couple copies so you can see. So I'm press D, Shift D, Shift D. So you got this, and we can like press G and move it here, press R, R, and we rotate it up, so it makes that. Then we can actually press, I just learned this one this morning, press Control T and twist it, and then you got drills. Freaking drills! I'm so sad I learned this after Second Life. So you can make curls and you can do all this stuff, and then after that it's just a matter of putting it on your character. Now one thing I did learn this morning is that after, when you drill it, you can't extrude and make more like drill. It messes up. You got to get the length you want first, then you drill it. At least that's the technique that I've learned right now. So I'm going to import an anime character in. I prepared a bald specimen for us to make hair. And the problem with this is that unless I have a, what do you call it, an example, I can't exactly make good looking hair from scratch. So, you know, just kind of deal, like, please bear with me as I make this poor girl have some craptastic hair. Okay, so I'm going to press Shift C, so I'll get in here now. So we have our character. It's not textured, like she's textured. You know, like if I put it here, she's textured, and that would look right. But you cannot put a texture on your curves until you turn them into a mesh. I mean, I tried looking for information, so maybe it is, and I just don't know it, but far as I know, you can't do that. So then we have our hair, and I'm going to hair in our layer, and it's gigantic, so don't worry, we could just press S and scale it down. Shift C, put that in there. Alright, so we got our hair, and we can just, oh, the field of influence is huge. So we have our hair, and we could just press G and pull it over, and put it on her head. I know, I don't, like I said, I'm not great at styling hair unless I have an example to look at, and I'm trying to get through this as fast as I can. And if I do have a what you call it, then we'll be here all day making hair. So press D, and I feel like it's backwards. Now, if you feel like you need more points, like of articulation, you could do the same thing like we did with the director, with the actor, and give it more spots. You could press W and then subdivide, but doing so kind of like, what's the word, bunches it up. So you'll have to maneuver it. I like to instead find a place where I need another point. Because you hold, like, okay, let's say I want to add some more manipulation in between these 2 points. I select point A, hold down Shift, select point B, and then press W, and then subdivide, and it gives me another dot to work with on the inside, so I can manipulate it some more that way and this way. Now, I'm not particularly fond of the shape that I made for this hair. I actually think I could have done better, because the one I had before was actually pretty good. This one is just okay. So we can actually address that. So what if you are working on hair and you like, you're doing this and you've played around with the shapes and you saved and you're like, oh, I have a really good shape that I made. You can actually save that shape. So that way you could import it in again, so you don't have to manipulate the poles each and every single time you want to make a curve. So I'm going to go back to my curve layer real quick, and I'm just going to show you how to save it, and then I'm going to import my good one, because I don't really like this shape. Okay, so this is the shape. Let's just say we love it. I don't. And we want to convert it into something that we can use later. You would select your curve, you would go into Object, and then you would push Convert To, and then Convert to Mesh from Curve. And now when you go into edit mode, you'll see that all the poles are gone and it's just a string of vertices. We want to save this so we can come back to it later. So you would select your new mesh. Then you would go to File, Export, Collada Day, and you will use the rigged second life settings from the drop menu, and then just save it on your desktop or wherever you want to save your templates at, because I assume you're going to have a whole bunch of shapes and stuff that you like, right? So we got this here, and I'm going to delete it so we don't confuse it. Oh no, well, how about we just throw it over here? Okay. So now we can bring it back in. So go to File, Import, Shape 3, I think. And then we're just going to convert it right back into a curve. So same thing, Object, Convert to Curve to Mesh. And now when we select our curve that we have over here, our actor, we can tell it to select our imported one and we'll get it back in again. But the problem with this is, more time than not, is that it's going to come in looking dark gray like this. And if you know Blender, you know what this means. That means that this texture, this mesh, is actually inside out. And that's no good. Because if we were to just keep building on it like this, your stuff is either going to be inverted or invisible. So I think I can show you that. Let me see. So if you use backface culling, it's going to look like this. That's what we don't want. So we need to fix this. And any way to fix it is pretty easy. You just select the director, go into edit mode, and then you press W, and you want to say switch direction. And now, if we do the backface culling, you'll see that it is right side in. So that's how you would do it. Now, what about the shape I had mentioned earlier? I have a shape that I like, so I'm just going to get rid of that. And I'm going to bring in my other shape. I think shape 1 was my favorite shape. It looks crazy, right? But it made some really nice hair. So if I can just go back to convert here, convert it into a curve, select my actor, go to eyedroppy, select that. You see we have a really nice shape for hair. Oh, and of course we got to flip it because, you know, inside out is not good. Do the same thing, W, flip the direction. Alright, so now we got this guy, and that's our hair. And I want to go back to my anime character. Well, I want to Shift D. I always Shift D. Just in case you break it, it's always good to make a dupe of the original and then just modify with the dupe. That way, if you break it or mess it up, you got one back there that you don't got to extrude and shift and all the rest of that junk. So I have this, and I need to put this over here so that I can have just those two together. Wait, where's my little anime girl? Here we go. Alright. This, go down. Put it over here on her face. I am terrible with depth perception. You know, they said in a tutorial once how to change the depth perception on here, and I was like, I did it. And I was too young to remember it, how to do it right. I think it's something in options. But I never played around with it again because I was like, ugh, I can see. I don't need depth perception. There's always a need for depth perception. Alright, so this is a much better hair shape than the one that we had before, right? And the cool thing about it is that you can press E and extrude down if you want to. But I think before you extrude, it's a good idea to stretch the opening up. So it's not just making little tails. So when I do this, I can press E and keep extruding down. And, you know, we can manipulate it however long as we want. And then when I get to the length I want, I'll press S again and then taper it off. So that to me is like really pretty stylized hair. So when I get the shape that I want, I just press Shift D. Oop, that's her face. I grab this, Shift D, and I make a bunch more. You can, I'm pretty sure, put this in mirror mode so you don't have to. I always just made it a habit to just mirror the hair when I was done and then do that, but I can understand how mirror mode would be the more ideal thing to do. Alright, so we're just going to give her a little bit of hair right here. Something cool. Maybe wiggly. Like I said, no good when it comes to like designing hair off the fly. Don't worry about the end. I just like to sew that in at the end. Okay, so let's say we have her little hair right here. Ooh, that's awful. Let's pull this in. Inward, please. And then you press R and you can rotate this and make it pretty. I don't like them just dangling about and curved in. Yeah, that's fine, but just having it out there, no good. Alright. I feel bad leaving her with all this forehead. Okay, maybe we'll give her a dramatic side. What was that? Side bang. Something. Oh, and you can press S and you can scale it and make it wider too, so you don't have to use so many pieces. It's all artistic and up to you. There you go. There we go. All right. That's stylish. Okay. Okay. So now we have our hair. It's done. Well, it's done as I want to do in this tutorial. And we need to make it mesh, right? So we can do that. We can make it mesh and we can put a texture on it. So we need to first create a new window because that's going to be our UV window. Our UV window here. We're going to select our hair and we're going to do the same thing like we did with our template and to convert it from oh, it's clipping a wee bit. There we go. No clipping. Alright, so what else am I gonna do? Oh, convert this into a mesh. So we're gonna select our hair, yeah? And we're going to do like we did with the other one. We're gonna go up to object and then this and convert to mesh. So now you see that it is a mesh. Once it's a mesh, we need to go into edit mode, press A, press U, and then follow the active quads. And from the active quads, we're going to do even and then hit OK. And now you see that it is unwrapped and it's square and it's all over here. But as you see, it's going outside of our texture box. So it's like, ugh, gross. I'm going to put a texture in there just so it can help make things a lot easier for us real quick. So I'm going to go to open. I know I have a folder for hair textures. Alright, just grab this one. Hang on, I think my blender's crashing. Don't crash, blender, hang in there. You know you can do it. Alright, while my blender is slowly dying to death, any questions, comments, concerns about what you just seen? Oh, there we go. So, got this. I'm gonna go up one and get some colors. Cause I always use pink. Alright, so I got this texture down here. And as you see, the texture is all the way there. I'm gonna turn on texture solid so we can see the texture going. And look how it looks. Awful. So let's make it fit. So we're inside of the window here. This is heat so far. And we're going to press A. And then we're going to pack it all inside of the box. So I always lose where that is. It's like Control P. There it is. And you see it is now inside here, our texture box. When we look at it, ain't no way. It came out right. I'm sorry. Every time I do this, it comes out like this. So then once you pack it in the island, you gotta like RZ -90. And then, well, let me see. Sometimes it comes. Look at that nonsense. I tell y'all, no lie. Every time I did this, it always comes out wrong or sideways. But for the first time, it came out right. I wonder if it's because I used that the thing. Anyway, so yeah, that's the process. We would have the hair here, and we would have to do that for every single part of this hair. Like, you know, select the hair. You can't join it and do it. You got to do it individual, or else it will, when you use the follow active quads unwrapping, it will do it wrong. Fortunately, in the newer versions of Blender, they actually corrected that, and it gives it the texture already. It's just, I'm still learning it, so give me a minute. I will do it for them anyway. But I just find this a lot easier. So now we have that. So that is the process. Then you would join it and then export it out. And then ta-da, you have hair. That's how it works. Yay. So now let me show you what the plugin I made does to try to speed up this process. So I'm going to go over here to a new layer. And in fact, I'm going to make a whole new... I don't want to lose that hair. It's fine. It's fine. We can make more hair later. Alright, so I'm going to show y'all what the process does, what the new plugin does. So I'm going to create a new environment, delete all of this jazz, turn on the screencast so that you can see what I'm saying. Alright, there we go. Okay, so when you install the plugin, it'll show up over here in the side where all the rest of the tabs are, and it should say Curvy. Oh, it just says Curvy? Oh no, it's just the thing. It's Curvy Ginkgo, so you see it. And I made that process that we just did that took about 10 minutes or so streamlined into buttons. As you can see, the buttons are numbered so you know which button to press and what order to make it go. There's also a built-in FAQ, so I have put in here instructions so that you can know what to do and how it works, just in case you just downloaded and you forgot, or it's been a while and you forget. I try to make as many notes in here as I could. So, alright, the steps to making hair. Number 1, add path. Number 2, add circle. Number 3, enter edit mode. 4, select all. And then free the handles. Done. Now our director is set up. We can go to our actor, go to the menu, the curve menu, and set it to it like we had before. Now you can manipulate it just like we did before, but you can also subdivide and give yourself more curves, and then we can edit it like we want it to. Now, I do not feel like making more of those curves and stuff that we did before, so we can just import our template. So let's go here to the curve template tab, and it says open day. We can open up our day, and you can either select the shape that I gave you inside the template or one that you saved yourself. So we're just going to open up shape 1 again, which was included, and it should be in here. Oh, yeah. It doesn't automatically dive into your thing. It goes here to this drop menu, and then you can press this button, insert template, and then you'll see that the shape has been added in here. Now you can actually go and open up more shapes if you wanted to. So you can choose the apple shape and insert that one in here, and then you'll have this shape that we can use as well. Or you can delete those in case you find that you have too many templates added into it. Okay, so once we got our template in here, our actor's still down there. Get out of here, apple shape. I want the pretty shape that we had before. So I'm going to select our pretty shape, our actor here. Grab our... No, that's the director. So I'm going to grab our actor, the path. Choose the eyedrop and select it. Oh, yeah, I forgot. When you import it in, it's still a mesh. So we have to convert it into a curve. So just press this button that says convert mesh into a curve. And now it's a curve. Just that quick. We're going to grab our actor, and then we're going to select it, and now you see we have it. But remember what I told you about the it being inside out? So we just got to correct that real quick. Just go into edit mode, open up the tools, and then press switch direction. There, it's done. So now the hair is all ready to go. We just got to press S and scroll it down. I don't have my thing going, so I press S and scroll it down again. S and scroll it down. I didn't hit anything. That was the cats. But anyway, S here, and then S here, and then boom, you got yourself a hair thing right there. See how fast that was? Okay, so I already showed you how to put it on the hair. I'm just going to move on to the next part on the model. I'm just going to move on to the next part, which is texturing. So once we have it, let's just pretend that it's, ready to be textured. I'm going to create a new window. Go to image view. Oh, we're going to press let me close this. I forgot. You gotta press T over this way, and then there's the Curvy Ginkgo, um, this thingy here, UV side, so you know which side is which. So we have this. We are going to open up here, convert into mesh, convert curve into mesh. We're going to push the button here, and this is going to unwrap it. We're going to press this button, the third step, and then go into edit mode. It's going to tell you how to open up the window and how to select to go into edit UV editing. So you're over here now. See, it's already done. So now we need to pack the UV. So step 4, select all. Pack the UVs into the section. Pick the hair texture that you want. Colors. Because I like it, damn it. That's why. Do this, and if your textures are jacked up, just press rotate to that. And now you see what textures are. Wait, hold up. Is it really just doing it? Hold on. I think it's really just doing it. Hold on, wait. Laughing at that person who was asking me why I'm using this old blender is because I like it. That's why. So hold on. I think I went back too far. Do this, unwrap, enter edit mode, select all, pack UVs, open this, select your hair color. And let me look at my text. And it's supposed to just rotate this way. Oh, that was it. It did do it. There we go. Straight. So you see how fast that was? You just push the buttons and then go. Saving yourself minutes instead of having to do that. So that is my plugin in a nutshell. What do you guys think? Useful? I'll make it on the newer version, but this is going to take me a minute. But with this, you'll be able to make your hair and do your stuff and do what you got to do. And that's how I make stylized hair using this plugin. So I hope you guys will go and download it from my GitHub. The link is in the description. And it's free. So, you know, if you use it and, you know, you can't donate money, which is like, okay, at least put a star on it, because they have this thing on your Discord and it's like, how many stars do you have on there? And I got like 1 on each one except for one of them. And if you guys are using it, you know, can't donate money and you want to show your appreciation, at least give me a star. That'll make me smile. Although money would make me smile too, I have discovered cookies. I haven't had a like Oreo or a Chips Ahoy in years. And I decided to get one because it was on sale and I was like, what the hell, and they're delicious. So I think that's my new vice. I would totally like to have cookie money one day, if you would be so kind. Alright, well, I'm going to skadoot, and I hope that you guys like the plugin and it helps you with your journey. Keep an eye out for the one that's coming out for 3. I don't use Blender 4, so I can't make nothing for that, but I can totally make it for 3, and maybe somebody who knows what they're doing can improve on it, and it'll be like, you know, way easier to make hair or something like that. I don't know. I hate these. I never want to leave, but I got to. So I'll see you guys later. Join our Discord. Check out the stuff, and I will see you guys later. Have fun. Bye, and good luck with your projects.